Morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy hump day. Hope everyone is well today. Wednesday already. I don't know where these weeks go. I tell you what, because it's been Easter, I don't know what day it is. I'm not going to lie, I'm totally confused. Not that that is anything unusual. Jimbo will be joining me shortly. He is doing some updates on his computer because he's so unorganized. He couldn't possibly have done them earlier. He has to wait until 5 minutes before we are due to stream. Anyway, I hope everybody is good. The weather here today is rubbish after having a beautiful spring day yesterday with pure t-shirt weather. It is peeing down. Welcome to England. But, you know, at least we've got the excuse when we lose a game, it's raining. What a great excuse. Never ever thought of that one. But from now on, if we lose a game and it's raining, that is going to be my go-to excuse. You will have to excuse the intro this morning. I'm not quite sure what happened. It started, then it stopped, and then it started again. So it seems like my computer is having a mind of its own and a bit of a mental breakdown today. But we will plod on regardless. Obviously, today we will be delving into what should we call yesterday? That uninspiring is a good word. Uninspiring 1-1 draw with West Ham. And what went wrong, what went right. Yeah, that sort of thing. Also be covering. Yeah, we'll be covering and also covering any other news that's around at the moment, including Daniel Levy looking at new investors for the club. And yeah, anything else that should pop up, but seems very quiet in here today. I'm not sure why, but I will say hello to who is in the chat at the moment. We have Steve D, absolute legend, says, I'll be in the car listening, still smiling about last night on the terrace. Steve, your messages were literally making me absolutely crease up. I'm not going to lie. I was trying. How can I explain it? The terrace yesterday, I got to a point where I thought, right, what am I going to do? Am I going to explode and completely lose my cool and possibly humiliate myself? My cat's name is Holly. She's obviously trying to escape for some reason. She must be bored of my chatting already. Yes, I thought, am I going to try and am I going to just lose my mind and lose my temper and just explode at this stupid things I was hearing on the terrace? Or do I just sit quietly and just let it all happen around me? Or do I leave? And then Steve D's text started coming through, which were making me absolutely wet my pants, I'm not going to lie. And yeah, and then I just decided it was time to go. So that's what I did. So yeah, that was my appearance on the terrace last night. But big up Steve D, big up Jimbo. You're here. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. Still flued up. Still got the man flu. Everyone who's a man knows how bad that is.
No, darling. Can we please rephrase again and say you've got a cold? Am I right? I need to get my fan in a minute. I'm absolutely boiling. I think Jose's still going over in El Tel Cocorel. That's why it's quiet.
Is it quiet?
Yeah, really quiet. Massively quiet. But anyway, Steve D in the house. Big love to you, my man. Big up, Mark CFC. Always good to see you. Are Chelsea playing tonight?
Tomorrow they're playing Man United tomorrow, I think.
Oh, are they on Thursday? I thought all the football finished today.
I think it's tomorrow.
Okay, you might be right, Mark. Let us know, my love. Big up, Daniela Zito. Any chance of Luton having a go at the Scum? Well, Jim, you can sort of give your perspective here. I'm just going to grab my fan so you can give your perspective.
I think I've just got a funny feeling. I said to Kate yesterday, I've got a funny feeling they're going to turn them over 2-1. I do. I don't know why, but everybody's going to think I'm mad. But I just got a feeling tomorrow they're going to tonight they're going to turn them over.
I don't think anyone can think you're mad because this is a season where, do you know what? Anything can happen. With the results that are coming through at the minute are just bonkers. So I don't think you're mad. I just think maybe it's a bit of hopium. But Luton are a decent side on their day. Arsenal could go there feeling a little bit nonchalant, shall we say, and just think they can walk a win and come unstuck. Who knows?
I don't think it's hope. I just got a feeling they're going to turn them over. I said it to you, didn't I? And I do. I think they'll turn them over.
Okay, fair enough. Big up, Cassandra. Hope you're well. Hopefully it'll be an interesting chat. We will try our best. Morning, Fiona. Yeah, my cat is Holly. She is the devil herself. Look, she's going to probably bite me. Yeah, look, she's going to bite me because I'm stroking her. She's nice when she wants to be nice, but the rest of the time she's vile.
She's
she only
lovely.
likes men. Yeah, because you're a man. She doesn't like women. Big up, Revenite. How are you, my lovely? Liverpool, Sheffield United. I think that's tonight. Should be a nice, easy game for you.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be any surprises there.
I'll be amazed if there was a shock there, but you know what? Who knows? Yes, you're right. It is tomorrow, the game. Revenite and Mark saying big up Jimbo.
You got both of you.
Good morning, Shemtan. So LTL's still going. Jose's going to get told off because he knows this is my time. So I'm going to give him a smack bottom. But big up to you. Always good to see you. I missed the Princess Kate this morning, though, but I'll let you off. Games are being played tonight. Don't know if I'll be watching. Oh, I think we will be. I want to see. We'll start the Arsenal game, and if they go 2-0 up or something, we might turn over. Tomorrow, Liverpool. Why did I think it was only Tuesday, Wednesday, the football? I don't know. Afternoon, Kate, Jimbo and chat. Big up, Drew la. Hope you are well, my lovely. Right, okay. So, obviously, the way I described the game, Jimbo, was uninspiring. The story of Tottenham's season in 4 games. We absolutely smash Aston Villa. We get absolutely thrashed by Fulham. We scrape and win against Luton, and then do a very uninspiring draw against West Ham last night. Initial thoughts, what did you make of the game?
It was what I expected, really. I thought we'd win. I said that. But I expected it to be a hard-fought game because it's their cup final. They hate losing to us, as we hate losing to them. And I expected it to be just a tough game and them sit back and try and get us on the counter, which they nearly done if Antonio hadn't fluffed it. But I have heard through the grapevine it was because of the rain. But
I said that at the beginning.
No, it was what I expected, and I just don't think I don't think there should be any meltdowns. I think we got to look at this season now for what it is. It's a rebuilding process. I think Ange made some mistakes yesterday, but we got to give him a bit of leeway. All right, Paddy.
Do you know what? There's not supposed to be 2 streams on at the same time. I'm always extra careful who stream. I make sure I don't clash with people, but I'm not going to go into it because it is what it is. There's only so many hours in the day. But yeah, carry on, Jim. Sorry.
Yeah, it's their cup final. It was always going to be hard. They're going to put everything into it. Sit back behind the ball. I was very, very disappointed. I've been bumming Werner up, but I was very disappointed with Werner. He could have got himself in some positions to put the ball in the net, but he's 28. I think he should be knowing better. He should be in front of his defender. There was a couple that got whipped in by Johnson that he could have got on the end of, and he didn't. So I was really disappointed with Werner. And I personally would have took Werner off at half time and put Richie on and put Sonny out on the wing. But who am I? I'm just Jim. Ange is the man. So he obviously thought otherwise. But it was what I expected. But as I said, let's take this season for what it is. We're rebuilding. We're learning. Ange is learning. He needs to learn quick. Because this league is unforgiving, and I think he will. And onwards and upwards, I'm not going to be too downhearted and beat the players and beat Ange. I think that we're going to see some big changes in the summer in the club, and then we'll move on next season and take it from there. I think next season we've got a right to criticise. I know people say that we got a right to criticise now, but I think that we have to give a bit of leeway this season, and next season we can do a bit more criticising.
Drula, I would absolutely love a full English breakfast or brunch. I wish you could send one over. After Saturday, I really just want this season ended. But yeah, you should win easily. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's open to criticism, and I don't think there's ever any problem and any issue with criticising the manager and criticising the players, as long as you're constructive with how you do it. You know, I just think coming out and just saying someone's crap with no sort of basis. However, the starting lineup for me, I still am a little bit like speechless about it. It was completely different to what I thought. I thought Basuma was an absolute banker to be dropped. You know, it's all very well Ange keeping the faith in Basuma, but we need a strong midfield. Again, I thought midfield yesterday was meh. And Basuma, not good enough, not strong enough for me. And also, I thought that game had Richarlison's name written all over it. You know, he's got this beef with Antonio where Antonio said last season he'd taken his shirt off more times than he scored. So I thought this was a primed sort of opportunity to get Richie out there, bit of shithousery, wind them up, go head to head with Antonio. Also, the physicality of Richie, because West Ham are a physical team. You know, they like to bully you off the ball, and they've got some real they have got class in their team. So I was a bit miffed by the starting lineup right at the beginning, and I was actually far less confident once I'd seen the lineup than I was before. But I mean, Jim, what did you make of him sort of not starting Richie and also persevering with Basuma?
Well, okay, I said yesterday I would have started the front three that he started to start with, right? And got at him from the very. You're right, David. Hope you're well, mate.
Yeah,
Long
good
time
to
no
see
see.
you.
Good to have you back in the room. I would have started with the front three started, and got at him with the pace. And if it wasn't working, changed it at half time. I wouldn't have messed around. Once at half time coming, it was 1-1. I would have definitely changed it and put Sonny on the wing, Richie in the middle. And I'd have left Johnson because I thought Johnson had quite a good game. Left him out on the right, and I would have had Basuma off and Sarin at half time as well. But you know, and then take the game from there and how the game flows to what other changes I would have done.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have took Madison off because I thought the longer the game went on, the more he got into it. In the second half, he started to come into it a lot more, so I wouldn't have took him off. But I look, you know me, Kate. I'm not one for slagging them down. I don't like slagging my roomies down. I don't like slagging the players or the manager down. I like it. I like to be a bit more constructive about it. And I think to myself that maybe Mad has come off because he took some bad tackles, and maybe it was a caution thing that he come off. I don't like to say it was a bad sub until I know the ins and outs. So it could have been he took some bad tackles yesterday. So it could have been for precaution because we need him for the rest of the season. But the one player that I would say that I was really, really disappointed with was Werner, because I think his positioning for how long he's been in the game, I thought his positioning yesterday was terrible. He weren't his movement was terrible. But look, it is what it is. It's happened, isn't it? I saw yesterday that people were saying that Basuma should go, but I agree with Alan from what's his channel?
Time added on.
Time added on. He said he needs competition. Was it him who said it or Jacob? One of them said it. That,
Jacob said it actually.
yeah, I agree with Jacob. Then that I think Biss needs competition. So because at the minute he's looking and he's right. Yeah, it was Jacob. He's right. He's looking at and he's looking at is Højbjerg, and he's thinking, I'm going to get picked over Højbjerg. So he doesn't. We need someone else in that position.
Jimbo, it says here, Jimbo said on Mia's show, Biss played well on the terrace. You said he played poor. I'd love to hear.
I don't think Biss was terrible, right? I don't. I thought that he was better yesterday than he has been, but he's still not the best that we know. But he was definitely getting more stuck in yesterday, Kate, and I thought he played better than what he has been playing.
I don't agree at all. I thought he was poor. When you look at how strong their midfield is and their attack, I thought he was awful, just awful. For me, the last few games, he's not been more than a 5 out of 10, and that's nowhere near good enough.
Yeah, he has been poor, but I thought he was better yesterday. I thought he was better yesterday, definitely.
No, I
But
didn't see
still,
that at all.
not nowhere near the best that we know. Yeah, Amir's just put this was okay. Yeah, that's the right word. He was okay. He
I
wasn't
don't even think he was
outstanding, but he
okay.
wasn't. He wasn't terrible.
I mean, I've lost all patience with Biss. I'm not going to lie. I think I just don't think he looks. He went in and did that stupid challenge as well, which could have got him another yellow. This was the same ref that sent him off at Luton.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I've just lost all hope with him. I'm not going to tell lies. For
Look,
me,
Kate.
hang on, Jim. For me, I agree with Jacob. We need competition, but we need better than him. We need a Zubamendi in. I keep saying his name, but we need somebody like that, a good defensive midfielder. Basuma is not. It is not the answer. I'm sorry, he's not good enough for this team. I'm sick of everyone slagging Werner and Johnson off. We need to look at players like Basuma. If we bossed that midfield yesterday, we win that game, in my opinion, and we didn't. We didn't boss it at all. But go on, Jim.
Look, I think the way you and me look, we was talking about it this morning. We look at football a little bit different. I'm the yin
Yeah.
to your yang, and you're the yang to my yin, whatever. Right? I just think to myself that playing West Ham at West Ham, right, was always going to be a hard slog, right? And you're going to get games like that until we upgrade some of our players. When we upgrade some of our players, I think that games like that will win. But it was always going to be a hard slog, and it was always going to be one of them games that was frustrating. Because of the way they play. It's their cup final. They don't want to give us an inch because it's us. And it was always going to be a bit of a slog. But I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I was really disappointed with the team. I don't think anybody was terrible. The only one that I've dug out really is Werner. But even then, we got to give him a bit of credit because he got the assist. But it was always going to be one of them games against them, and we just have to accept that and move on to the next game.
Johnson was out the door too. Yep, Rev and I wouldn't disagree with this purely because the thing with Sarr is number one, he never stops working. So his work ethic for me is miles above Basuma. Number two, he's consistently good. I was devastated he didn't start yesterday because whether I've heard people criticise Sarr this year, and I've said at the start of the season I didn't get this big hype around Sarr, but watching him this year, he's been our most consistent midfielder. He covers every blade of grass. He works so hard. So yeah, for me, if you put Basuma or Sarr, I pick Sarr all day long and twice on a Sunday. Again, Morgan Gibbs-White, I read yesterday that we're hoping to sell Højbjerg to fund the purchase of Morgan Gibbs-White. I'd like him, and I think he will bring Johnson's game up because they've worked together in the past. I think you're a fan of Morgan Gibbs-White as well, Jimbo.
Yeah, I like him. Yeah, I think that he would fit in well with us.
Yeah, I do. I wouldn't be surprised if that actually happens. Yusuf, this is the $1 million question, and I really wish I could give you an answer. I don't know. There's just lack of consistency all season. We can look like proper Ange ball quality, although that's been to say that's not even true because we've only really seen Newcastle where we played 90 minutes of Ange ball, but it's just so inconsistent. I mean, I'm hoping it's just because the players have got to learn the system and we've been interrupted with injuries and suspensions, and it's just been, we've had international breaks, and that's the only thing I can hope for. If this happens again next season, serious questions have got to be asked.
Yeah, of course. That's what I said to you, Kate. We have to give them a little bit of leeway this season. It's too many people jumping on their backs and slaughtering them. We've got to give Ange time to sort his team out. We've got to give Ange time to get them playing the way they want to play. He did say, Ange in his interview, it's all a process. and he can see glimpses of what he wants. And then other times he's a bit disappointed um, uh, with things that happen on the pitch and goals we give away. But it's a process. It's something that's going to take a little bit of time, right? Hopefully not too long. But we just got to have a little bit of patience. And I think if we're going to criticise this, let's wait till next season and see how we kick on then and what we do in the summer.
Mark, it's nothing to worry about. I was on the terrace last night, and Will Stewart and that young Dan were on there. And Will Stewart, first of all, started blaming the rain for the result. Which, when players live in England, first of all, they should be used to the bloody rain, and second of all, West Ham had rain too. It didn't just rain on Spurs. So that was the first thing. But then we got into a whole argument of Basuma can be put on a level as Rice, because Rice will never give a 10 performance. And I sort of said, well, how do you know that? And he told me that he has a crystal ball. And the waffle was too much. So I thought, I'm either going to explode or I've got to leave. So I left. I
would have burst out into song. I'm singing in the rain.
It's the first time I can honestly say I was embarrassed to be a Spurs fan. I felt humiliated just listening to it. So I just left. So there we go. What's your best midfield? At the minute, I agree. I think it's Bentancur, Sarr, Madders, but the trouble is Maddison isn't performing to his best. And I think we definitely need a more defensive option in there. But that's who I would have started yesterday, Bentancur, Sarr and Madders. But, I just think Ange got it wrong again. And I don't like criticising Ange because I like him very much, but I still think he got it wrong yesterday, I'm afraid. Papa Mate Superstar. Gibbs White was incredible. I did read that. Mia, I came with gastro at home, damaged my ribs. As I was laying there, I thought, geez, I've done a Jimbo. Yusuf, are you expecting more injuries next season, given that you'll have European football, because you do play high-energy football? Well, I mean, Terry said on the terrace he expects us to spend 200 million this summer window. And if that happens, I would hope we'll have the squad to deal with it. But, even with Van der Ven, we've got Dragushin, but he doesn't play on that side. So we need to get a backup for Van der Ven straight away. And we need to get rid of the deadwood and get more reinforcements, because otherwise, yes, there will be injuries because of the style of football and the fact they'll be playing more games, and that's fine because everyone gets injuries. However, if you haven't got the squad to bring in a bet like for like, that's when you're in trouble. So this summer window is one of the most important summer windows we've ever had as a football club, in my opinion. I don't know if you agree, Jimbo.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. This window's massive. It's huge. You've heard me say it 1,000 times on streams. This is the window where we're going to see where we're going. If he doesn't back Ange this window, I'm going to be devastated, because he's brought in a manager that wants to give us the football we want to see, right? He's brought in a manager that he's given 4 years, a 4-year contract to, so he's expecting. I would think that Ange is expecting to be backed. Otherwise, why give him a 4-year contract? They've started well in the window. Disappointed with the winter window, but they've started well in the windows. Let's kick on in the next window and get in, 4 or 5 really, really, really top players and see where we go from there.
Does it still look like still don't understand the system? Our midfield's incredibly disjointed, in my opinion, at the minute, which is weird because in the first 10 games, you could argue our midfield was sublime, and the front three just aren't clicking. And I don't think Ange knows where Kulu fits in this team. I mean, he came on yesterday and he was again absolutely diabolical. I think a few people have called it to play him as a false 9. I'd love to see it because I do think there is a place for him in this team. I just don't think we found it yet. But something isn't right with the front three, which is why I would have started Sonny on the wing and Richie in the middle, because you've got to remember when Kane was there, Sonny was constantly feeding Kane, and he needs to get that partnership. If Richarlison is in Ange's long-term plans, which I don't think Richarlison will take a move to Saudi Arabia, not at the moment. So let's say he is going to be at the club. we need to build a partnership. So Son and Richie need to be playing together. And that is the key thing I think he got wrong. Basuma and Richie yesterday are the two things I think he got wrong. I mean, Jim, do you think that they're not sure or not playing it as they... sorry, in answer to Shim's question.
Look, Kate. We look a bit disjointed at the minute, right? I think when I watch them play, sometimes they're flowing really well, but they never seem to flow for a whole game. I watched some of the play yesterday; they were giving the ball away. It's like they're not connecting properly at the minute at certain times. But I think to myself, I look at it and I think to myself, we're I think it's at 8 points off of the top or 9 points off of the top, something like that.
Well, if Arsenal win tonight, they're 11 points ahead of us.
Okay,
and they're not
right,
even at the top,
and that means
so...
they go top, don't they?
I don't know. City are playing as well, aren't they? And because Liverpool. Yeah, no. Yeah, they would go top,
Right.
I believe.
So we're 11 points. If Arsenal win, right, we're 11 points off the top. That's not too bad, right, from where we started with Ange, right, because we was in proper disarray. So you've got to look at it that we're not that far behind, right, and we are not looking like a proper football team at the minute. We are in spells, but we're a bit disjointed a lot of the time. Sometimes I watch the football, and I was saying to you yesterday when we was watching it, they're not thinking. They're passing without using their brain and giving the ball away. They need to be connecting with each other more. But when you look at where we are, right, 11 points off of the top if Arsenal win tonight, we're not in a terrible position to where we was before. You see what I'm saying? So it's only a bit more reinforcement, a bit more work, a bit more understanding with the players, and we're not that far behind. So let's not get. It's not like we're in the bottom half of the table fighting relegation.
Big up Yoris and Leo just come in. I hope you're both well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know what you're saying, Jimbo. But I think we, as fans, we've got every right to say, I think he got it wrong.
Yeah.
If we think he got it wrong,
I think he got it wrong as well.
Yeah. You did touch on Timo. Now, obviously, I never wanted Timo in the first place. I was mortified, but I've become a bit of a Timo lover because I think he's got something to offer. But he didn't have a great game. Obviously, he set up Johnson's goal, but after that, he just didn't get himself in the right positions. And to be fair, had he have done so, we probably wouldn't have lost the game. This will give fuel the fire of the people that don't want to sign Timo and think he's crap. So,
yeah, Jim, you got to look at it. You got to look at it, Kate. Right? You can't be bumming Timo up, right, for 2 or 3 games where he's played well, and because he's had a bad game, right, start saying we want him out of the club. Because players have bad games. It's just as simple as that. We've got 9 games left of this season. I think it's 9, is it? We've got 9 games left. Let's see what he does in them 9 games and see where we are at the end of the season. And then we can make our decision if he should stay or go. I bet it's not up to us, but we can have our say. But I'm not gonna start saying I want him out of the club because he had a bad game yesterday.
Yeah, no, I mean, it hasn't changed my view. I think at 12 to 16 million, he's got a place in the team. He just needs to become more clinical. And that, everyone says how brilliant Angie's at developing players. Well, let's see if he can do it with Timo. Yeah, let's wait and see. Chris, you're welcome here, but don't get too carried away singing Arsenal songs in my chat. I might have to put a stop to that. Highlight of the season, we'll be meeting you guys. Yes, Leo, 3 weeks time. Woo woo. 4 goals, 4 assists in 25 games, good enough for Spurs. Who's got 4 goals, 4 assists in 25 games? Werner hasn't played 25 games, has he? Is that how many he's played?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe he has.
Reverend, who are you talking about?
Yeah, I think he's talking about Timo.
I think,
go on.
I thought he was talking about Johnson, was he?
I don't know. I'm sure Rev might
Vindaloo,
pronounce that. Big
Vindaloo,
up Vindaloo, Vindaloo, na
Vindaloo.
na. I agree. I think you got the team selection of subs wrong as well. I completely agree. Woolwich in the house, yeah. Would I start Gio Lo Celso? No. No. I don't. No, I wouldn't. I'm at the end of my tether with Gio. He's had 1,000 chances at Tottenham and he's never taken one of them, in my opinion. So, yes, he had a good cameo the other day, but he can't stay fit and he ain't good enough for this team. I don't know what you think, Jimbo.
No, you know my feelings on him. He's done well when he's come on a couple of times, but for me, he's had years at this club where he hasn't been bothered, and he's gone out on loan because he's shown nothing. So for me, he needs to be gone out of our club.
Yeah, this is more like it. 2 goals, 3 assists in 11. Yeah, that's good enough for me. I mean, you look at Richie's stats; they're not great. So yeah, I just think Vernon. I'm not saying he should be a start. I think we can do better, but I think he can definitely be a squad player. And like I say, we can get him for as low as £12 million. What can you buy for £12 million these days in football terms? Nothing. Is fifth going to be Champions League? I think we need Arsenal to beat Bayern, do we? Or do we need
Yeah, I
West
think
Ham?
it's to do with wet spam as well.
Yeah. I don't know. Wherever we finish, it's going to be higher than I expected. So,
I mean, look, if we're in the Europa League, whatever it's called, Europa League,
Europa League,
right?
yeah.
If we're in there, it's not going to be the end of the world. We're going to be in Europe, you
Yeah.
know. So it does to me. It's no big deal to me if we end up in the Europa League.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with this as well, Yoris. Timo's perfect for a rebuild, 1 or 2 years, sell for a profit. Yeah, you're never going to lose money on him at that time. The only thing is his wages. But most players know nowadays if they're going to get the move they want, they're going to have to take a wage cut. There's not the money in the game that there was, but Gio's 2 hit or miss, more miss than anything. The Burn Woolwich, I'm from Golders. Now, I won't have any name calling, please. That's the one thing I draw the line at. The reason he calls you Woolwich is because obviously that's where Arsenal come from, Woolwich Arsenal. I don't think it was any dig at you, but yeah, no, let's keep it friendly, please. Banter's fine, but I don't want any dramas. I did enough of that last night on the terrace. I'm putting my stern, I might have to put my glasses like that and be stern. If you want to strive for the top honours, eventually you will need better, but for now he's good enough. That's how I feel as well. We can't trust Gio. He's a sick note. Yeah, agreed. Arsenal City need to get to semi-finals and Liverpool and West Ham have to win their games as well, I think, for 5th Champions League spot. Okay. Well, I'd rather Arsenal win out. You want to know the truth. So
And
maybe
West
we get
Ham.
Europa League. Yeah, and West Ham. Excuse me, Jimbo, Champions League's crucial for the signings this summer. It attracts top players. Yeah.
No, I don't.
Right.
Belgium, I don't agree with that. Because I think that the players we're going to go for, I think Ainsley's going to be a bit more realistic, and I think he's going to look for players like he has done with Van der Ven and Vic, Dragusin. I think he's going to look for more players that he can make mould than going
Yeah.
in for top players. They might go in for one top player, maybe I think maybe a striker or a midfielder, but I think he's going to be looking in a different market.
Yeah.
So I don't think it is crucial.
The thing is, as well, it's all very well to say it attracts top players. Are we going to pay the money for these top players? I don't think it's a case of attracting top players. It's whether Levy will pay the money for the top players, which will remain to be seen. Like I say, we will have to wait and see. Wow, do you know what? I'm just putting this out there. There's actually, bear with me a second. Hang on, let me go through the chat while I'm waiting. It's actually 3 streams live at the same time. Wow. Yeah, that's the thing. It wasn't dig at you. It was the fact that Woolwich come where Arsenal originally come from. He's a cheap option with better players around him. He might be better. Yeah, and if Angie's this mastermind that we're led to believe, then he'll be able to develop him. I live near the border with Holland. Closest cities Antwerp and Eindhoven. Oh, Wonder why Postecoglou looks at the floor when interviewed whilst clearing his throat violently. I think he must have some sort of issue with his throat because he always coughs and clears his throat regularly. So I think there's an issue
Yeah,
there. But I
he
don't
doesn't
think he
always
looks
look
at
at
the
the
floor.
floor. He does look him in
No.
the eye. But
Yeah, he does.
I think he comes over well in his interviews because sometimes they ask him awkward questions and he always gives the right answer or backfires it to them. I like his interviews. I think he does well in his interviews.
Not only that, but like most managers, they don't really like being in front of the press. You can see it. Pep doesn't like it. Klopp doesn't like it. Ange doesn't like it. And I'm not surprised because most of the questions they ask are bloody stupid.
And
But yeah, I don't think.
straight after a game,
Yeah, the emotions high.
yeah.
But they ask some ridiculous questions. Champions League attracts players full stop, whether young prospects or 40, 50 million type players. You've got no choice but to support Arsenal to get fifth spot. Not really, because it's in our hands still, fourth. We've still got a game in hand over Villa. I expect them to drop points tonight against Manchester. Is it tonight or tomorrow? Tomorrow against Man City. So it's still in our hands. So we haven't got to do anything. We've just got to play our game and try and get the wins to get fourth spot, forget fifth. Yeah, it could be a tick. It's definitely something because he's all the time. So yeah. Morning all, you would think we got smashed 5-0 based on how folks are talking, but I didn't watch either, to be fair. Exactly, Ian. You've got to keep balanced. At the end of the day, West Ham aren't mugs. They're not mugs. They've got some. Look at Kudos, Bowen, James Ward-Prowse, Antonio Paqueta, all really good players. So yeah, I think it's quite harsh to sort of judge them.
It was always going to be a tough game. We knew that because it's West Ham, and it was always going to be tough. And we are a better. I think we're a better team than them. When we're flowing, I don't think it's even close. You want to know the truth, but they was always going to make it hard for us to score. That's why. What's that? Better prefer the hands of Arteta as your manager instead of
Arteta who lets other men feed him meat. No, thank you.
I'm not going to get into that. It was always going to be hard. They was always going to stick everybody behind the ball, and that's why I think he did get it wrong. But look, it is what it is. We've ended up drawing 1-1. It's not the end of the world, is it? Some people act like it's the end of the world.
No, night, David. You look after yourself. Don't fall over or do any gymnastics, please.
Yeah. What's your dog?
Press conferences and press in general is the worst part of managing. Exactly.
That's adorable,
Villa is tonight. Okay. I'd rather be in Europa than support the Goons. Amen to that, Yoris. Amen. West Ham have some good guys. They always have. They always show up. Of course, it's their cup final. If they'd have done the double on us, there'd have been videos out. Or videos. I'm old. DVDs out, T-shirts, the lot. Ange's clearly still learning with the players, and I would have took a draw before the game. Destiny, I predicted a loss, as you all know. So me too. I would have. I said to Jim, the main thing is we must not lose that game. Point away to West Ham's decent. We could easily have lost that game. They parked the bus and raised their game. I mean, that last chance that fell to Destiny, if that falls to sort of Richie, if that falls to Sonny, even if it falls to someone like Porro or even Papa Mateta, that's a goal. You know, when you just think, oh, of all the people for it to fall to. So we could have won it at the end. But you know what? It is what it is. Poor Destiny. He deserved that goal, in my opinion. But yeah, you're right, Leo. Some people in front of the press or in front of people just don't talk great in public. Good afternoon, Tom81. Lovely to see you, my man. Why are you fuming? Explain. Hey, Kate, young Dan and Will on the terrace yesterday. It was like they were talking crap for charity.
Let's give little Dan a bit of leeway. Because
I didn't realise he's only about 14. I thought he was like older than that. I feel quite bad for like telling him off.
Yeah, he's a kid. Let's give him a little bit of leeway. He's a nice kid as well. He seems like a nice lad.
He's a nice kid, but it's just when he makes sweeping statements like this fan base are all this and you've got low standards. I can't take that from anybody, even a 14-year-old kid.
I said and done some stupid things at 14, Kate.
You still do it now?
Well, exactly.
I I'd rather eat shit than support them scumbags. Yeah, exactly, Mia. Jimbo, you said it perfectly. Next year, we're going to be blowing teams like this out the water. I do
Yeah,
hope so.
I believe
Tom
that as
says,
well.
I thought Ange Ball was about winning. Madders stays on top and win that game. I'm sorry, but the subs were atrocious. Yeah, I was going to touch on that. Jamie O'Hara, I mean, Talksport are, as usual, stirring the boat. Stirring the pot. Jamie O'Hara apparently has come out in outrage that Madders got subbed and said he should be banging on Postecoglou's door and demanding to know why he was substituted. And people were ringing into Talksport apparently last night, ranting and raving. Look, I don't think Madders had the best game. And I also think he could have possibly got a little knock. But I do think his subs were questionable. I'm not sure if Madders stays on, we would have won because I don't think he was having a great game. But it's one of those we'll never know. I mean, Jimbo, what did you think about the Madders sub?
Look, see, the thing is with me is I'm not. I don't jump on I don't jump on decisions till I know the facts. And he took a lot of bad tackles, um, uh, Madders, right?
Yeah.
So we don't know if it was for precaution because we need him for the rest of the season. So until I know the facts, I don't really want to. Well, if he wasn't injured and everything was good, and then it was a bad decision, but he's very cautious, very cautious, Postecoglou with his players. We know that he's took them off before and said he's took them off because they took a knock and he didn't want to take a chance. So I'm going to put it down to that it was for safety reasons. You know, if he'd have stayed on, right, and we lost him for the rest of the season, it's not going to be good. So I'd rather he come off and was all right, and we've got him for the next few games.
Yeah, I mean, Tom's just said, yeah, I know, Vindaloo. He looks older than 14. I'm sure Terry said he was 14. But thing is, you go on a platform like the Terrace, you're always going to get it, no matter how old you are, I'm afraid. And just said the Madders change was tactical, in which case, yeah, that is a little bit questionable.
Well, I thought I thought as the game went on, the longer the game went on, especially in the second half, that Madders was getting into it more.
Madders was subbed because he was knackered. Also, we need him every game. We have to manage his minutes. Who came on for Madders yesterday? Was it Højbjerg?
He bought Sarah on Højbjerg.
Yeah, but he did bring the Celso on, but not until later, didn't he?
Yeah, no, he didn't bring Celso until quite late.
Right, so I would have took Madders off, put the Celso on. So at least you're putting creativity for creativity. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Højbjerg, he's good at tightening up the defence. We all know he can do that. But when you're drawing and you're trying to get a win,
it's very easy, Kate. It's very easy for us as fans, right? Jim, you're just like my dad, ever positive. But it's very easy for us as fans to sit here and say, I would have done this, I would have done that, right? But only the players and Postecoglou knows what position they're in and how they're feeling health-wise towards the end of the season. You know, like Bentancur, I didn't know he had a bad toe until like a few days ago. So we've got to be very careful how we say. I think how we say it, because we don't know what the ins and outs are.
Yeah, I get you, Jimbo. I do get what you're saying. Jim, just like my dad, ever positive. Quick one, Madders glass or class? Class, but at the minute he's more like arse. He looked mad coming off, but he wasn't on point. Exactly. But that's what you want to see players be mad when they get pulled. Well, as they say, when they get pulled off, but that sounds really wrong. But yeah, I mean, as someone said, we've got to manage his minutes. Ziggy plus. Kulu was just diabolical. Oh my god, yeah, he was. I did say, I think there was a place for him in this team, but I just don't know what his position is. I mean, Jim, is it time to try and get rid of Kulu or try him in a 9?
Well, definitely not on the wing. Maybe if he rotates Madders and Kulu more, and Kulu plays in that position more, that we're seeing much better Kulu. But we can't expect him to come on for 20 minutes and light the place up, can we? He needs to be in that position more. and see how he grows into it. But look, this is
Yeah.
what pre-season's for. So that's why I'm expecting a lot more next season, because pre-season he should be messing around with the players, people like Kulu, right, and find out where his best position is. But somebody said, I think it was, I don't know where it was. I saw someone say somewhere that if Kulu was asked his best position, he would say in the middle.
Yeah. I think he's overrated, Minerals. I've no idea what's going on with Kulu. The thing is, do you know what it seems? It seems like all of our key players have hit bad form at the same time, which is very unusual. But
They
I
look
don't
very
know.
disjointed, Kate, at the
They
minute.
do very, especially the midfield and the front.
Yeah.
I mean, our defence, I think, looks solid. Vicario has been brilliant, but from the midfield forwards, just something's not right.
Look, let's be brutally honest, right? If we want to move to the next phase in our development, right, we need to buy some more quality,
Mhm.
because we're going to find it very hard with this team, right, as a starting 11, which they're a good starting 11, but we're going to find it very hard to move to the next level. So
Mhm.
we need to add to this team a bit more class. And I think some of these players are good backup players. But to move to that next level, we need to buy. There's a few positions we need to upgrade on.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Fans will be moaning if you kept Madders on and he was out. This is exactly what I said to Jim. What did I say to you this
Yeah,
morning? If he'd have got a knock and was out for 3-4 weeks, oh my God, the meltdown would have been monumental. I was not happy with Decky buggering up that 4-on-3 with a weak cross. Yet, agreed.
yeah. That was
Uh,
he had one in the middle where he had Son out on the wing, and there was nowhere near Son. It was an easy pass, and he put it out for a throw, and it was like, it's just disappointing at that standard of football. They should never be doing that.
that's a sweeping statement. I don't think we've all got the same accent. I'm from Kent. Jim's from South London. Is that right?
Yeah,
Um, it's like saying, why do all Liverpool, Man United fans have a London accent? You can't sweep in statement things like that. I'm sure Arsenal fans, most of you sound the same. No, I mean, you just can't make statements like that. But you look like you're trying to get a reaction, Chris, and I'm not going to give it to you anymore. If you can't be nice and can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Tom, don't be fed up, my lovely. Let's hope that the summer, we'll all be fed up come all September. Hang on, when's it? Yeah, August, if we haven't signed anyone. But let's wait and see. You know, summer's vital for us.
Tom, listen
This,
to me, right? We're not doing terrible. We're in fifth. We're 2 points off a fourth. You know, it's the first season of a transition for this club. Look at Arsenal. 5 years they've been on their transition. It's only the last 2 seasons they've started to challenge. You
yeah.
know, so let's not be too down. We're not in a bad position for where we have been, and we've got the summer to come. And if we bring in some good players to match this lot, then we can move forward next season. It's not all doom and gloom, Tom.
Daniel Levy gave himself a £3 million bonus, did he? I don't know. I haven't seen that, but
Lucky
quite
Daniel
possibly.
Levy.
Exactly. I wonder if he'll lend me a fiver.
I'll lend you a fiver.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, but what do you want in return?
I can't say on here.
No, Son was poor.
It might be touched by.
Oh no, Son was poor yesterday. I agree. No, you certainly don't have the same accent. We need a Jimbo speech. Go on, Jim. You tell him.
Well, it's
Yeah, we like.
true. I mean, it's not doom and gloom. Everybody thinks it's doom and gloom. We drew 1-1 with West Ham. You know, it's not the end of the world. It was always going to be a hard game. I expect to beat them, right? GBC fan said it's sloppy. We were sloppy. Yeah, they were sloppy. We were sloppy.
No, Jim wants some sloppy.
Oh, all right. Yeah, we were sloppy yesterday. We was disjointed. We wasn't good, but it's not the end of the world. It was a 1-1.
Mm.
Let's keep the faith.
Not like we lost 4-0.
Yeah, let's keep the faith.
This was always going to be the first phase. Just have to take it for what it is. Next season's where we will see the fruits of the effort. Yeah. Look, Arteta finished 8th in his first season. I think Klopp finished 8th in his first season. It is what it is. You know, there's no need at all for the meltdowns. Big up, Bob. Good to see you, my friend. And Lee and GBC fan. Good to see you all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, Bobby K. Hope you're well, my darling. Good to see you as always. Hope the boys are well. What was I going to say? Yeah, this. I mean, obviously we lost Harry Kane, and you can't replace Harry Kane. It's easy to say. All these cobblers at the start of the season, we're a better team without Harry Kane is a load of crap. Sorry. But the front three, are they just not good enough, or are they just not clicking together? What do you think, Jimbo?
I think we need to make some changes at the front. Right, I love Richie. I think he's a good squad player. I think he'll come on when you need a bit of bite and give it to you. I think he will score goals. The same with Werner. I think he can be a decent squad player, right? But we need to upgrade up there. We definitely need to upgrade up there.
Yeah. Shemtam, no, Jim, it is all doom and gloom. We couldn't beat West Ham, so we will be relegated because of it. Just watch. I'm not sure if you're being sarcastic there, but there's no fear of Tottenham being relegated. Don't worry.
I think he's being sarcastic.
Yes, like the great late George Michael said, you gotta have faith to faith to faith. I gotta have faith to faith to faith. We weren't clinical last season, so I don't expect us to be this season. Yeah. Bob says, good to see common sense talk on the terrace last night, Kate. Thanks, Bob. I've got, do you know what? I've got a really thick skin. People can say what they want to me, but I have zero tolerance for absolute bullshit. So I have to remove myself from the situation. And that's exactly what I did. Sorry, but this reminds me of the early months under Aussie with the Fab Five up front. As soon as teams sussed it out, they took advantage. Yeah, I think we definitely need to switch it up front. Like I say, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but I think Sonny should have started on the left, Richie in the middle. And people, I mean, Danny Kiriakou said you shouldn't say that Richie's crap. Yes, but he offers a different dynamic and he's what we've got. I don't think he's crap. I think in games, some games are suited for Richie. And for me, last night was perfect for Richarlison. I so wanted the shithousery with Antonio. You know, Antonio's really pissed him off. He said he'd never shake hands with him. I wanted that needle because I think if he'd have been on, they could have potentially had a red card. I mean, Paqueta done about 4 fouls, never even got carded. It was a disgrace. But anyway, the goal we conceded was Vicario again at fault. Corners and Vic don't work. Yeah, that's something that's definitely got to be sorted out. He seems to flap. It looks like he really panics at corners, and that's really, really worrying. I know that they did say he should have caught a couple of the balls, but I think that was quite harsh because it was wet. And as Jim said, if he tries to catch it, it slips through his fingers, then, you know.
Yeah, he done the right thing. And the thing I noticed with Vic that he's doing that he wasn't doing at the beginning, he's pushing the ball in non-dangerous areas.
Big up Destiny,
when he does saves. So he's another one I think's come on leaps and bounds. I'm not going to slag him down in any way.
And stop using Udogi and Porro as attacking mids because they're not good at it. Rather have Bentancur and Matters. I don't agree. I think Porro's been excellent at it, and I think Udogi's been excellent for the most part of the season. So I don't agree. I think that's a reactionary statement, and we don't want to start putting square pegs in round holes. You know, there's certain things we need to improve on, and that's when summer's coming. But we can all scream and shout what we need. We all know what we need, but we can't buy anyone yet. So we've just got to be patient to the end of the season. I know it's frustrating, and people go patience, patience, patience. But trust me, if we don't get backed, and Ange doesn't get backed, and Levy doesn't give him what he wants, you'll see different Kate next season because I won't be making excuses at all for Daniel Levy because there is absolutely no excuse. Sonny's always bullied. Yep, exactly why I wouldn't have put him in the middle. The referee made some dodgy decisions. He really did. And
it wasn't his greatest game, was it?
This comment here, 7-inch destroyer, is exactly why I was so pissed off on the terrace because it's me that people come in my room and say it was the Rain FC. Ridiculous excuse. I mean, I can't even go into it anymore.
It's quite funny, really. I mean, I was laughing. I was laughing because I used to love playing in the rain. Could get stuck in slide tackles, but it's the same. It was the same for West Ham. If it's dry, right, you can knock the ball about more and flow a bit more. But West Ham are good at that. They've got players that are good at that as well. So it was the same for both. It's not like we're talking about a shit team here. We're talking about
Right.
West Ham are a decent team, and they can play some good football. They got some outstanding players in their team. So
Not only that, Jim, but they live in England. It pisses down with rain all the
all the
time.
time,
They must be used to playing in the bloody rain. It's just the worst excuse I've ever heard. I don't know. Ange said that he's fully fit. You know, if Ange says he's fit, I believe that he's fit. Yeah, Bobby, how you feeling? How's your man flu going? Seriously, some of your fans make Ty look like an elite intellectual, especially those two comedians. I know. I can only apologise because they don't represent the majority of the fan base. That's all I can say. Who from our starting 11 would get to start in one of the other so-called top 6 clubs? Sonny, Madders, Benton Kerr, I think you've got an argument for Benton Kerr. Van der Ven for sure. Udogi, I think. Romero, you've got arguments for, and Vicario. You've got arguments for 7 of them. I'm not saying they all definitely would, but if you're talking about the top 4, very few. Very, very few. Porro maybe, but Udogi, in my opinion, should be a bit deeper because Madders can do everything he does. You're moving players out of their positions, though. I don't know if I like that idea. The problem is when Destiny and Porro invert, they take the space where Madders and Benny were trying to run into last night. It bunches up the midfield. And this is where the system's got to be learned, I suppose.
yeah. That's where they look disjointed.
Yeah. Yes, he did say that. He did say that, Max. West Ham wanted to turn it into a fight, but we tried to play our way. Rain excuse was cobblers, same as the stats. Yeah, Van der Ven, I think he walks into any top team. I think he's sensational. Big up Simba says, hi guys, long time, I miss you. Simba from South Africa. Wow, South Africa, all the way over there. I hope you're well and the weather's being kind to you over there because it's horrible here. Vic would start for United. Let's be fair, United are crap. Son walks into all teams in Europe. I don't want Werner. I want someone with pace who can finish. Van der Ven and next Van Dijk would be sick. I can see young Van Dijk in Van der Ven's game already. I think he's so got the potential to be the next Van Dijk. Miss Trevor says, Mister, it was the rain. Also said we will surely finish above Arsenal next season and will challenge for the title. I know. Don't get me started again. Højbjerg was the only player to protect Vic on set pieces. Yeah,
He was when he come on. Yeah,
he was. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Shall we do, Jim Bob? Shall we do player ratings?
Oh, okay.
Or don't you want to?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, let's do it.
We don't have to, darling.
Yeah, it's just going to be. I don't want to be too critical, but yes, let's do it.
Well, you know.
I like to see what the chat say about the.
Okay, we just go through the chat then.
Yeah, and no, we can do it. We do it as well.
Big up High Priest says, is it an issue that Ange doesn't change his style? Jim, you can take this first.
No, I don't think so. I think his style is his style, and they got to get used to it. And we need some more upgrades that react better to it. But no, I trust Ange. I trust him. I like him. I want him as our manager. And let's see where we move forward.
Yeah. Who's better, Van der Ven or Saliba? At this moment in time, for me, Saliba, but I think Van der Ven's got the potential to be one of the best centre-backs in the world.
The thing with Saliba, everything looks easy to him.
Yeah.
I think it does with Van der Ven as well. I think Van der Ven is a Rolls Royce, but Saliba's got a bit more experience, and he looks everything looks easy to him. You know, I think Saliba's outstanding. He doesn't seem to get flustered. He seems to know where to be, all the time. He was the other day when they played City. He was head and shoulders above anyone else on the pitch for me.
Yeah. This is quite a good analogy. Arteta put Raya as number one, Vicario on goal. He decided not to challenge for the ball. Sorry, he's like a Michelin chef who occasionally burns the food. I think every player has got weaknesses to their game that you have to try and iron out, and that is definitely Vicario's weakness, the set plays. But it is his first season in the Premier League, and it's something that I'm sure he will work on. I still rate him extremely highly, and I think he will end up coming really good for us. And he has been brilliant this season, but he can be better. There's no doubt about it. I thought overall we played all right as well.
Yeah,
I thought we
yeah.
played all right.
It's not. They did look a bit disjointed at times, and I was a bit disappointed with some of the passing, but it wasn't like a disaster.
Yeah. Van der Ven, best looking footballer in the Premier League. Oh, I couldn't disagree with that. And Radu, couldn't disagree with that either. But no, I'm not going to go there. Afternoon, Mr. Kaufman. Good to see you.
Benjamin,
Yoris says once Ange has his own players, we won't want him to change his style. Mark my words. That's what I was going to say. I don't want him to change. I want this philosophy. I just think at the minute he hasn't got the players to execute it properly. And if he changes it, then he's then got to reinstill it next season. So, I get the arguments, but if you wanted Ange, you know that he's stubborn and this is how he's going to play. So maybe you shouldn't have wanted him and should have asked for someone else. I didn't want Ange. I didn't know enough about him, but I like the fact he's stubborn. I respect it. That's how he's always played in all his years of management. He's not an idiot. He's got 30 odd years of experience. And I like the fact that that's him and that's how he is. I agree with that. I think Vic's been solid. I like Hulu to play a left wing. Maybe Tottenham Spurs win a game. Yeah, that's the thing. They don't play left wingers on left on the left. It's madness.
So frustrating.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is frustrating. I don't know if it's this new fandangled thing. It's such a simple thing. If you're a left foot, you play on the left. But apparently it's not that simple because we like to overcomplicate things. And not just Tottenham. Lots of teams do it now. As good as Saliba is, Gabriel has been the bed. Do you know what? I would agree with that. I really thought I thought Saliba was kind of carrying Gabriel last season. I'm not going to lie then. But this year, Gabriel has been unbelievable.
I think what these two do, right, is they complement each other. Because for me, Saliba's very silky and his positioning is unbelievable. From nowhere, he's in the right position. But Gabriel's a beast. He's a tough motherfucker, isn't he? And I think they complement each other. Look, I'm a Spurs fan, and I don't want to bum Arsenal up, but they are at the minute the outstanding pair of defenders in the Premier League, and the stats show that, and the eyes shows that. So I mean, that's where we got to aspire to get to with Romero and Van der Ven.
Yeah, we was like that with Jan and Toby. Toby was more hefty. Jan had the silky passing. And I think Saliba and Gabriel are a fantastic partnership. They
complement each other.
Yeah, and I think Romero and Van der Ven have got the potential to get there. But we also need a backup for Van der Ven because the drop-off after him is monumental.
Who have Arsenal got if one of them two gets injured or they both get injured?
That's a good question. Vindaloo, who would come in? It's not Rob Holding. He's midfield, isn't he? I'm trying to think who comes in because Saliba got injured last year and I can't think who they were playing at the back. Not Cedric. I don't know. Vindaloo, let us know. Do you think Tottenham are going to struggle battling on two fronts, whether that be in Champions or Europe? We will if we don't invest heavily into improving our squad, in my opinion. Hello, Kate and Jimbo. That's all right. I know where you were, Ellie, you traitor. Good to see you, my lovely. He's just testing the players this season. I think it'll be very cutthroat this summer. That's why he keeps distance. Yeah, I hope so. I want to see that side of Ange. I did like his celebration yesterday, even though it was a fist pump. That's what I like to see. I was like, go on, Ange. Exactly that, Leo. And do you know what? I'm crapping myself for the North London derby. I'm so looking forward to going and meeting you all, but the result, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie. But we will see. We will see. Miracles happen, and in a North London derby, you never know what's going to happen. Teams have done inverted wingers for years, which doesn't work. Is inverted wingers and inverted fullbacks. Everyone's too central. Yeah, but it's Angie's way. It's Angie's way. That's because last season Zinchenko. Yeah, but you know what? He's had some good performances for you this year. He really has. I was really impressed. But yeah, I don't know. I don't blame Vic for the set pieces. I blame the zonal marking. Seems our players aren't capable of doing it. Yeah, I get that as well. Is this true? Is Gabriel not in the Brazil squad? How? How come? Because he's playing out of his skin. I don't understand why that would be the case. On Saturday, Werner played 90 minutes. On Tuesday, they again put winger to do everything. I think midfielders and other players are running away from their responsibility to track back when you doggy and Porro attack. Yeah, it's a good point. I think the midfielders are very, 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 very disjointed at the moment. Kiwior, yeah. Oh, yeah. But he's another good player. I think he's going to come really good. I think there's signs of him being a decent player. Yes, we are smoking our cheeky vapes.
I love my vape.
Tommy Asu, yeah, he's just signed an extension as well. I'm not
He's just come back from injury, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't mind him, but I'm not. He's a drop down, I think, from what you've got. I agree. We need a left-footed on the left and a right-footer on the right. The reason is if we invert our fullbacks, we need our wingers to stay wide and flash balls across. Yep. Ben White, of course, and Timber. Yes. I was forgetting all these players. Yeah, they're good players, but they're just not at that level for me. Can't stand Gabriel always having a row of players. Hope he makes a costly mistake before the season's done. Saliba's quality. Yeah, but Gabriel's the sort of player you love if he plays for your team, but detest him if he's in the opposition because he's a bit of a shithousery type player. Yeah. I would if we got an offer, I would sell Basuma and get Zubimendi in. If not,
it's not even a conversation.
I
won't even get into the conversation of comparing Basuma to Rice at the minute.
At the minute, it's still 2 p.m. on Sunday. It all depends on the Bayern Munich game.
Well, I hope it is because Dave, the Irish Hotspur's got a ticket and he's flying in Sunday morning. So he said if it's Saturday, he's not going to be able to go. So I'm praying for Dave that it's Sunday.
Yeah, Daniel Levy, I did have this as a banner to talk about, is in talks with bringing in potential investors after Tottenham post £86 million in losses. I'm not really sure how that's possible, but I haven't read through all the documents yet, so I will have a nosy at that. But yeah, I know he has said that he's meeting with several potential investors. Don't like it when they post losses because then you think, there's the excuse for not investing. But we'll see. Jim, no worries. We can still win the league. Just need City, Paul and Goons to lose 5 games. Simple. I'm more concerned about us winning 5 games and then losing 5. Bloody hell. Yori says, Kate, we play much better against teams that go toe-to-toe. I have more confidence for the North London derby than I had for last night. Yeah, you're right. The low block's what kills us. Let's
just hope we turn up.
Levy released this info so he can say, this is exactly what I was just saying, so that he can say we can't spend in the summer. Don't. Tommy Asu was supposed to be at Spurs, but we turned him down to get Emerson. I've got no comment on that. You really need you to do something against Arsenal and City. Yeah, hopefully we will, Yusuf. Hopefully we will. I want Lolo to start every game now. Yesterday was much more like himself. He's our best midfielder. Yeah, I agree. I think he's different gravy when he's playing his best. He is unbelievable. I'm nervous too, Kate, but like my mum told me, enjoy your time, win or lose, my smile, no one can take that from me. You know what as well, Leo, win or lose, have a booze. And yes, Zubimendi. Oh, do you know what? I would be so delighted. We've made losses in the last few years, Kate, and still got players. Yeah, I just don't know where the losses come from. But anyway, Vindaloo, they are just as good with tough. Oh, you're talking to each other. Keep reading the article. That was the season before we made $500 million profit. Oh, okay. I'm not buying Johnson hype. Where was he all season? Very average player. I think when we watched him against, hang on, where was it when he came on and made the difference? Was it Luton?
Luton, yeah.
I think that's the first time Jimbo and I have sort of said, I get why we paid that money for him, but I would never start him at the minute. And that's another reason. I'm not going to say it all over again, but that's why I didn't like the starting lineup. I think he's just so much better as a super sub to come off the bench and make a difference. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, we did not lose. That is the main thing. We could not afford to lose that game. And we didn't. So it isn't the end of the world. Johnson was our best player yesterday, says Ben.
Yeah, I think he was up there.
I don't know if I think he was our best. I'm just thinking.
Yeah, he was definitely one of them.
Yeah, I think he was up there as one of them. I think you could have an argument for Vicario as well. I thought he had a really good game. Yeah. I do too.
Player ratings.
Yeah, I'm just finishing the things. I like Edison at Atlanta as well.
We're linked to him.
Yeah, heavily linked to him, but we'll see. We will see. We will see. If you could take one player from each of the top 3 teams, who would they be? I'll tell you, I'm just writing mine down because I'm thinking. So you got Man City, Liverpool, and Arsenal.
I would take.
Go on, Jimbo. You go first.
I would take Rodri.
Yep.
I would take Saliba.
Yep.
And I would take.
If you say the same as me, because the first 2 you've said are the first 2 I've written. So if you say the same as me, I'm going to fall off the chair.
I was going to say Salah, but he's because of his age. From Liverpool, I can't think of his name.
Who is it? What position?
He plays up front for Liverpool.
Nunez?
Yeah,
Diaz?
Nunez.
Really?
Yeah.
I put Rodri, Salah, Saliba.
I was going to say Salah, but it's only because of his age.
I know, but do you know what? It's just different gravy. But we've got some good ones, actually, because we've got Silva, Salah, Odegaard. Big up Chris Peters. Good to see you, my friend. Silva, Salah, Odegaard. Odegaard. I can understand why people would say that. We've also got Salah, Haaland, and Rodri from Bobby K. Haaland. Hang on, Rodri. You can't have Rodri and Haaland. They're playing in the same team. You've got to pick one from Arsenal, Bobby K. Play the game properly. You're cheating. This is a good call. Trent maybe instead of Salah because of Salah's age. That's a good call.
I like Nunez. I do,
but there's better players in the Liverpool team for me.
He's young, Nunez, isn't he?
Yeah, I think I would say, Trent maybe instead of Salah. I think you're right. I just think Salah's different gravy. I do. Rodri, Virgil van Dijk, and Saka. Haaland, Declan Rice, VVD. Yeah, Declan Rice, another one. Salah, KDB, Haaland. You're cheating. You can't have 2 from City. You've got to pick one from Arsenal. No cheating, man. This is outrageous. Problem is some players are bone lazy. They just can't be asked to do the extra mile to press the opposition, or they do it for small periods. Man City have technicality, but they also work like Trojans. Well, Pep wouldn't allow anyone else. Spurs fans picking Arsenal players. We've got to. It's the game. It's the game. I'm sick, so I can cheat. No, you can't. Play nicely or don't play at all. Rodri, Saliba, and Alisson. I did think of Alisson as well, to be fair. Rice, Virgil van Dijk, and Haaland. Trent, Rodri, and the blade of grass at the Scum Stadium. Salah, Saliba, and Rodri. Yeah, they were the three I picked. Hard to choose between KDB and Rodri. I know. I apologise for the cheating. Cheating, pumpkin eaters in here. Kelleher, another good call. What a keeper he's been as well. Haaland, Rice, Salah. Haaland, Virgil van Dijk, Salah. Some really, really good answers here.
Haaland, Virgil van Dijk, Rice.
Doku, Trossard, and Gakpo. Yeah, I think Trossard could be even better if he got regular game time. Doku, I think he probably will develop into something amazing, but I'm not sure he's quite there yet. He has games where he looks amazing. No, Jim said you mustn't cheat. He texted me and he said Bobby's such a cheating bastard.
I texted Bobby and said, let Bobby have who he wants. He's not well.
Salah, KDB, one other like it. They're not cheating. They just can't imagine having an Arsenal player. KDB's declined massively. I don't think he's been crap, but I get what you're saying. Big up Couva Bear. I've been here sooner, but Ash and Jose kept me there against my will, saying you only cared about the football terrace. I saw you on there all comfortable, Couva. Don't you come on here being all nice and saying that. I saw you. I see everything. Big up, Couva. Rob Frank says Doku is shite. Looks good on the ball with the skills, but ultimately does nothing with it. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. He has had some unbelievable performances. I just think he's not consistent enough yet. I've got a twist on that, Kate. Win or lose, you've got to cruise all the way to the league title. It's our title, Jimbo. They're all going to bottle it. No. You could give me a packet of Tang Fastics for Gakpo. He's awful. There you go. Soboslai is going to be world class, quite possibly.
I saw a skip by Bobby Gay. Thanks, Jim. I saw that.
Yeah. I don't know if I can be bothered to do player ratings.
Oh, don't do them
then. Because it takes ages and I haven't done the banners for it and the chat's flowing anyway. So, you know, it is what it is. Kate, I'm only a traitor. I know you are, really. Sorry, can't do it. Pick an Arsenal player. You're joking. My number one target for the summer would be Bukayo Saka. Are you? Oh, Bakayoko. I thought you said Bukayo Saka. Bakayoko. You should have heard the rubbish coming out of Couva's mouth about your show, Kate. Couva, what have you been saying? So mean. Totally unnecessary. But yeah, obviously we've got Forest coming up at the weekend. We won't preview it yet because we shall do that on Friday. I'm hoping that we can get back to winning ways. But it'll be... I hope he drops Basuma. I really will be asking questions of Ange if he plays Basuma again. Because there's no rhyme or reason, in my opinion, to be playing him. But yeah, it's come out today. Daniel Levy is in talks over selling a stake in the club. I'm not sure what stake, but it says year ending June 30th, 2023. Levy said Spurs needed new investment to reach their long-term potential. To capitalise on our long-term potential to continue in investing in the teams and undertake future capital projects, the club requires a significant increase in its equity base. We're in discussion with prospective investors. Levy has held talks with a number of potential investors, including Paris Saint-Germain president and Qatar sports investment chief Nasser Al Khalifa, although the Qataris have since called their interest in buying a stake in the North London club. Levy also said in September he's got no real interest in leaving Spurs, and selling a minority stake would allow the chairman to remain in control. Investment company ENIC currently owns just under 87%, with Levy controlling nearly 30% of that. Spurs announced increased revenue of £549.6 million, up 24% from the previous year's figures of £444 million, as the club broke the £500,000 barrier for the first time. However, losses for the year came in at £86.8 million, up from £50.1 million, which the club said reflected the significant and continued investment in the squad. Blah, 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 blah. The figures took Spurs' losses for a 3-year period to £232 million. What's that say? Where have I lost it? But they remain comfortably in line with Premier League profit and sustainability rules. So yeah, that's it. I thought I better just mention that. I'm really behind on the comments now. Where are we? I would love to take Bowen off that lot. Yeah. Everyone 6.5 ratings done. Yeah, let's just say that. We'll average it out.
I'd rather Kudos than Bowen.
Yeah, Mia was here the whole time, Kuva, so you can't blame her. No comment. I just know who my friends are. That's all I'm going to say. Sofa Score Merchant hasn't watered his lawn in years. Don't. Want to see Bentancur, Celso and Maddison as a midfield 3. No, we need Sarr in there. Can't see a midfield without superstar. I just can't. It's so consistent. For me, he has to be in the midfield, but everybody's different. I swap Leverkusen, Andrich or Sociedad Zubimendi for Basuma in first week of June. Oh, please let's get Zubimendi. I'm biased because I'm Belgian, but Bakayoko and Doku are the business. Yeah, I think Doku's going to be an incredible player. That's because me as a bully and you wrapped around her pinky finger. I hate Arsenal, but I like Vindaloo. I'm being victimised, but I'm unsure which card to play. £87 million loss, which I guess will be more this year with no European football. Kate, will you be watching BB or hanging with your beta? I might stream at the same time. I haven't decided yet.
That's a great answer.
She's the new big time. Big up, Nick. Play the race card. It's because you're Norwindian. I'm not a joiner, just an instigator. Big up, Nick. So we will lose over 100 mil. I only missed 80 minutes. How many times has she mentioned Mickey Hazard? Not once, actually. Bless you, LA. Kudos is decent too. Oh my God, he's amazing. I do love Kudos. Yuri says, leave you out. Can't stand that helmet head. Feeding off old age pensioners for his bonus. Disgraceful. Why does he think he should be the highest paid CEO in the Premier League? Yeah, I get that. I get the hate. I get it. To be fair, I missed the first 30 minutes. In the last hour, I only heard his name dropped 83 times, so she's scaling back. Vindaloo, are you going to the North London derby? Please let us know. Sarr, Madders, Benny, Tottenham's best midfield 3. Agreed, 1,000,000%. Lolo, Sarr, Madders. Yep, agreed. Kuva with the super chat. Thanks, Kuv. Says, bloody hell, here you go then. It's costing a fortune paying bad bear tax. Stop being a bad bear and you won't have to keep paying compensation. It's as easy as that. Levy, it better not be an American investor. They don't know about football, spoiling English football. I think English football's being spoiled by all sorts of things, not just American investors, let me tell you. They're just a big money. Best Spurs midfield, the Celso end on Billy and Hill. Oh, don't. Oh, I was going to say something else and I forgot. Jimbo and I are actually out. I'm going to do this purely for Kuva and Bobby K's benefit. So this is for you guys because I haven't name dropped anyone today. Kuva and I are actually out next Friday with the legend.
Kuva and I.
Oh, Jimbo and I. Sorry.
I thought you dropped me for Kuva then.
No, Kuva was busy. So Jimbo and I are out next Friday as Mickey has his guests for a evening with Chris Waddle and Clive Allen. So I shall be taking lots of photos and do a little video for me. I'm looking forward to it. It's the first time Jim and I have been out on a date without William for about
Long
6
time.
years. 6 years, I think. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm not a Levy out fanatic, but the OAP thing, yeah, there's no excuse for it at all. 55 here, 33 likes. Hit that like button for Jim and what's her face. Well, we're Jimbo and I sitting at the North London Derby. We're right next to the Spurs fans, so look out for me and Jim. You'll probably hear me, even if you can't see me. You'll probably hear me. Jim will be the one with the sling, and just shout "Kate," and I'll go Binder, and we can wave at each other. Ooh, can I come? Of course you can. There's still tickets available, I think. So yeah. More like Arabian states, Qatar, Saudi Arabia. How can that be fair? Yeah, too late now. Too late now. They've let these massive state ownership companies come in and ruin the Premier League, in my opinion. But every position is important. Some fans think wingers are, and I don't want that type of fans mentality. Every single position in our team is important, and we needed every single position to play at their top yesterday, and they didn't. And West Ham really were there for the taking. I know they did have some chances, but that last chance for Destiny, I was just so gutted it fell to him. Sonny buries that straight away, but it wasn't meant to be. Yes, in the peasant quarters, Kate. Yes, that's us. Going on a date with 4 men. Just how I like it, Chris. Just how I like it. It's my favourite kind of date. Jimbo, it's 2:00. Anything else you want to talk about before we go?
No, not really. No, it's just it is what it is, isn't it? And we have to move on. A true Forest at home, which I expect us to win.
You always expect us to win.
Well, that's because I support Spurs.
Well, so do I, but I also know that we're not the best team in the league.
Well, to me, we are.
You're so deluded. Maybe you should get in touch with Will. Do you know what? It's funny because I'm reading my notes and I've put sick of Basuma, has to be dropped.
What?
65% possession, 4 shots. Good first half hour, then boring till the last 5 minutes. That's so funny. And 5 years since we beat West Ham at their place, which is absolutely outrageous, really.
Yeah, but it's 11 years they haven't done the double over us.
I know, but even so. Imagine if Levy's investment is Joe Lewis trying to worm his way back in. Oh, don't. Off to the ladies to fiddle with 4 shirts, okay? Oi, oi, oi. Touch my cock, touch my cock, touch my cock, touch my cock. Yeah, cock roll, that is, of course. You've got to admire Jimbo's optimism. I wish I had that much. Yeah, me too. Me too. Big up Vindaloo. Always good to have you in. Hopefully see you soon.
Vindaloo, Vindaloo,
Yeah, Vindaloo. No, no.
Vindaloo, Vindaloo.
Jimbo, when are you next on?
Ain't got a clue, but say tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? I don't know.
Yeah, look out for me after you lose. Maybe we'll have a beer together. Tomorrow you're hosting Queries and Theories, a non-football show tomorrow at 12:30. Talking about Area 51 tomorrow. So yeah, join me, Jimbo, and Amelia. And then it is Thursday tomorrow, and then I'm on the terrace. And Friday we're back to Football Matters with the Premier League preview. Big up Yoris says, big up Kate and Jimbo. Thanks for the great stream. Sending good vibes, love and peace. Enjoy your day. Thank you. Always welcome. Always welcome, Destiny. I understand, Jim. It don't matter how bad things are, we're still winning the quad next season.
Yeah.
I prefer 69. Do you know what? I haven't watched Bob Lazar, but I believe Amelia's watched it. So, but yes, our conspiracy theories show is back tomorrow. As of next week, there's going to be slight changes to the show because Monday we are at the hospital for Jimbo's X-ray. So Tuesday will be the Premier League recap. I think Wednesday will be the member show, and I think Thursday will be the Premier League preview because Friday we're going away. Obviously, we're going to that do in the evening, but we're staying in a hotel, so I think we're going to make sort of most of the day of it. Look at Jimbo's face.
Hotel, hey baby.
So I think there'll only be 3 shows in the week next week, which is poo. But I will probably do weekend shows to make up for it. I will sort the schedule out. So yeah, but yeah, I love a conspiracy theory too. Thank you all so much for watching. Please, if you haven't already, smash a like on the way out. If you haven't subbed, please subscribe to the channel. We are slowly creeping up, which is all good in the hood. Yeah, and join us tomorrow, myself, Jimbo, and Amelia, where we will be delving into aliens, Area 51, all sorts of strange and wonderful things. Yeah, yeah, that's the point. I miss Lee today.
Yeah.
You are best. Oh, big up to you, Farouk. Always a pleasure to see you in the room. Yeah, Jimbo, final word. Oh, hang on, before I say final words, big up to obviously Yoris, who became a member yesterday, but it's still in my list, so you're going to get it. Get another big up to you, and big up to Kuva with the half-hearted apology. You're half-heartedly forgiven. No, big up for the super chat. Thank you very much, you bad bear. Big up, guys. Apologies. Tom, you never need to apologise. Oh, I also look
out, be down, Tom.
Yeah, Jimbo, do them spooked hands again.
Ooh.
I've had some requests from members to do because of the mental health stream that we did on with Charleston. A couple of people got in touch with me and said about doing a members only show where only members can watch, and perhaps having 1 or 2 members on at a time while they tell their story, because they said that they would find that helpful. So look out for a message on the community page. I want to see how many people are interested, who would be willing to come on and tell their stories, or just come on and speak about demons that they faced, and just to know that it's a safe place, because that stream was one of my most popular streams. I've had a lot of good feedback from it, so it's something we're looking to do. So look out for a message on the community page about that. Big up Arteta out. Big up Kate and Jimbo. You're still hoping you can come above Arsenal? I didn't think for a second we would. So yeah, I don't need to answer that because I didn't think we would finish above Arsenal. Jimbo might have done, but I didn't. Thanks, Tom, for the super chat. Absolutely no need. Much love to you. Hope your mood improves and that we've done a little bit to cheer you up. And come in tomorrow if you want to laugh, because there'll be no football talk. It will be purely madness as usual. And we may be the greatest club as... We may not be the best team, but we are the greatest club, as the club have myself, Jimbo, Kuva, and Bobby as fans. Can't say fairer than that. Jimbo, final words before we go, my darling.
Come on, you fucking Spurs.
Have a great day, everyone. And come on, you Spurs.